Hi everybody, this is Chris Steele from Fun Infused Games. I am returning for a devlog. Haven't done one of these since August of last year, so I've been kind of slacking off. It's not that I haven't been working on stuff. Uh, it's just, when you get busy, one of the things that kind of falls to the wayside sometimes is, doing videos and the various self-promotion stuff. And it's something as an indie developer, though, you need to really try to make time for, because if you're just throwing games out there without anyone knowing about you, you're gonna have a tough time selling it just on, videos and screenshots. And plus it's harder to get feedback, when you're engaging your audience, you're more likely to get people commenting on how the game looks, how the game plays, giving you good feedback. Um, so it's important, and I've been neglecting that sort of aspect of game development, I think, for too long, and I'm gonna try to get back into doing these regularly. Um, I am using some different software than I did before. I'm using this open, well, it's OSB. I'm not, it's Open Something Broadcast Studio or something or other. I'm sure you can find it, but it's actually really slick. Like, I've never used this before. Um, it was pretty easy to set up. I put like a little, I can't point at stuff. That way, that way. I put like a little logo for the company, and then I put my little face down in the corner, and then right now I'm sharing my desktop. And it was like super easy to set up. I used to do this all with like separate video streams and overlay graphics like after the fact. Usually, you know, create the graphics in Photoshop and then drop them in through like Adobe Premiere or something like that. And this was just like, it's not as elaborate like that I could do after the fact, but it's really nice for setting up, really easy to get going. And I think the fact that I can just really at this point press record and jump in and then upload a video and be done with it, it's gonna make it a lot more likely that I'm gonna do more of these. So yeah, that's my spiel for right now. I just want to then take a little bit of time. I'm gonna play some Bad Caterpillar and just kind of talk about it as I play, and kind of give you guys a feel of what I've been working on lately. Bad Caterpillar was released, I don't remember the exact release date, a couple of years ago on XBLIG, Xbox Live Indie Games, and like it did okay. People seem to like it. Um, we got it approved through Steam Greenlight some time ago, but I was working through Valchaos, getting that on Steam, working through Hypership and Abduction Action first, and I didn't do a whole lot of game development over the summer, which has kind of become my norm. I tend to get wrapped up with going out or playing in different sports leagues and stuff. So game development kind of falls by the wayside for me during the summer. But now that summer's largely over, I'm kind of getting back in the swing of it. I think I'm pretty close to this. The finish line on Bad Caterpillar. Shit. Are we still recording? Got a little pop-up that said recording failed. Shoot. Um, well, we're gonna try this. I'm sorry if there's like a little awkward pause. Uh, hopefully this comes through, and I'm not just recording this for my own sake. But if I am, then you're not gonna know that. So just give me 1 second here. All right. Oh, shit. I don't know if this is gonna record or not. Well, it looks like it's still recording. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. All right. So released Bad Caterpillar on Xbox Live Indie Games, blah blah blah, did okay, blah blah blah, took summer off, blah blah blah. And I think there's not a lot of features left I want to do. Um, there's just some cleanup stuff. I want to add mouse controls still, and there needs to be like an intro kind of story at the beginning, which I don't have. And let me look at my list. Yeah, just some other minor things, but I'll go through. I'll play a little bit. I'll talk about what's changed since the last one. So here we go. This was written in monogame, as all my games so far have been. Um, I've looked into going to Unity. It's pretty different, and I have a lot of stuff already written that I use that makes development pretty quick. So for me to go to Unity, it's kind of like starting over on mostly everything, plus learning Unity because it's fairly different. So I've been slow to adopt that, but I think at some point I probably should because just for the multi-platform ability-ness of it, it would be nice to get some of my stuff. Like this game, I think would translate pretty well to like phones. Not all my stuff will, but I think this one, like Hypership would. So, um, you'll notice right here, right away, the screen here, the artwork is brand new. I just got this in actually a few days ago. I I like the old artwork, but I thought it was a little bit more. It was a little bit kind of gruesome and like unsettling to sit and look at all the time. So I got this one. Maybe just like a little bit more cleaner lines, just like a different style. Um, Although it's largely depicting the same picture, it's just I think it's a little easier to look at, and I think it fits better in with the UI elements throughout the game. Um, so high scores are one sort of new thing we're tied in with the Steam high scores. Just one so far. I haven't really got people in here playtesting yet, but yeah. So there will be high scores. I think that'll be an aspect of this people really like. So, it's a game with no definitive end. So the longer you play, the higher score you can get. I think it'll give you something to shoot for when you're playing a game that you can't actually beat. So, all right. So we got the 4 different players. This isn't anything new. Um, they always had the quotes right there, kind of at the beginning. But you'll notice as we play, up in the top right, there are like when you shoot bombs, they'll say different things. That's something like when you die. There's a couple other things that they say little quotes and just to kind of add a little personality and a reason to pick the different characters. I mean, the characters, they have slightly different weapon capacities and speed, but I just wanted something kind of more to, make them feel a little bit more unique than they did already. Um, you'll also notice the actual gameplay area is a little bit wider than it was on the Xbox Live indie game version. I think when I originally made this game, it was my plan to have this on the phones, and I was primarily making it for that. And it's easier to talk if I pause it for a sec. And so I had it a smaller size that was more fitting to the phone, and I decided to scale that up a little bit bigger for this release, since it's still, it's on the PC, you've got more room to work with. But I also felt like I didn't want to go the full width just because gameplay wise then you're moving the ship so far to get from one edge to the other, and I thought like there was a point where it's like too wide, it was detrimental to the game. So I think I found like a nice healthy spot in the middle for it right now. You'll notice if you remember before in the old game, the scores and the power up text was just like really um, standard kind of 100, 200, whatever laser, And the stuff on here now, when you get scores, oh, I'll talk about this in a second too. But when you get scores, they kind of expand. It's just a little bit nicer look. You'll notice the same thing too with the last enemy you kill at the end of the level. It's got the particle effects that sort of slow down and make that last kill a little bit more dramatic. Um, yeah, what you also notice at the top there's that mad timer, and it counts down. And when it gets to the bottom, all the caterpillar pieces get mad, so they go a lot faster, and they kind of like they're kind of erratic, like and then the various spiders start falling down. So um, I found in my playing it's not something you run into like consistently. Like more often than not, you finish these levels without the mad timer running out. But there are instances where it does, and it makes it a lot more exciting than trying to like survive through that. It makes the game a little bit more challenging. You saw briefly there one of the new weapons, not the one I have now, but there was like a wave shot. That was one of the new items we added in. I wish I'd collected. There's like a blue bomb. So that's the red bomb. The red bomb does this and blows up everything like in a radius. There's also a blue bomb. When you collect it, it explodes immediately, and it right. See all these blocks right now take 3 hits to kill. It'll knock them all down to 1 hit, so then you can kill them all with 1 hit. So, it's just a couple different items and stuff. Uh, oh, there was it. Good timing thing. Um, Cleaned up the UI, like how that looks, and some various stuff like that. Um, See, there's a quote when you die like that. Anyways, I don't want to go on too long, but that's a quick look at like some of the stuff that's in there, some of the stuff that's changed. Um, I would love any feedback you get. If you are interested in playtesting, please drop me a line as well. I can give you a Steam code and you can get in there and tell me how great this game is and how it's changed your life. And help me fill out the high scores a little bit too, because it would make me feel personally a whole lot better to see a lot of names below me on the high scores. That way it would inflate my ego, and that's something that I really need. So I'd love to have that too. I'm joking, but not really, but joking. Anyways, not really. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. Sorry if I'm not looking at the camera. It's kind of weird setup because I have I have the video recording on one of my other monitors, and I have a tendency to want to like kind of look over on that one to see how it's going. But my center monitor is where I'm actually recording from, so I don't know. Maybe next time I'll move the video thing in front of the other monitor and it'll look better. But I don't know. Still working the bugs out. Hopefully the sound's all right too. I mean, drop me a comment. Let me know how it looks, how it sounds. How you like this. I'm planning to do a lot more of these in the future. So let's help me iron out the bugs, and should be good for everyone. I hope, right? All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good night, guys and gals and dogs and cats and whatever other animal creatures are watching. Good night.